Hello. Thank you all for being here. It's so great to see so many friends and colleagues coming out to support CFEBA again this year. So thank you for being here. Our programming tonight is going to be rather brief. We're going to keep the formal programming to a minimum because we want everyone to enjoy one another's company. And of course, we also want to make sure we have plenty of time for everyone to give this new donate by phone technology a shot and give generously to our great cornerstone project this year, Educate Haiti. I'd like to start with a few words about CFEBA, and I apologize to those who were at lunch because I'm retreading a little bit of the comments from lunch, but just a bit. The CFEBA was started almost 20 years ago. It was first incorporated in 2002. It was created by a joint effort of the Energy Bar and FELJ Board of Directors because they wanted to do something more than just have a great professional organization, and that just is in quotation marks because the work of the EBA is so tremendous. But it seems to me that the desire to create the CFEBA was born out of a desire to do something more than have a great professional organization that elevates the bar in terms of professional excellence and services to the members of the bar, but to do something that's outward-looking, do something for others, and that's exactly what the CFEBA has been doing over the course of its existence. And so thank you to all of you for making that possible through your generosity, not just financial generosity, but the generosity of the time that you have given. So many in the room have served in CFEBA leadership, but also just by participating in things like tonight's event. And in that spirit, I want to especially thank tonight our gold sponsors, Bracewell, Evershed Sutherland, Eastern Generation, Susan N. Kelly of American Public Power Association, Skadden Arps, and Steptoe. Thank you for supporting tonight's effort. And thank you. Thank you to all of the individual members who have already made donations to our effort tonight. And I hope that many of the gathered assembly here will follow in those footsteps, and we'll have more information about exactly how to do that. But here's the card. So if you have a cell phone, you can text to 50155, and you text CFEBA 19, and this information is on all of your tables, and that'll bring up a credit card information and allow you to choose how to make your donation. So that's it for the opening remarks. We have a few treats ahead for the group. We're going to have a short video, and we're going to have some remarks from representatives of the Educate Haiti organization, and that will follow the dinner service. So thank you again.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Tonight you're mine completely. You give your love so freely tonight. I see the love that's in your eyes. Will you still love me tomorrow? Is this a lasting treasure or just a moment's pleasure? Tonight I feel the love that's in your smile. Will you still love me tomorrow? Tonight we'll work unspoken. You said that I'm the only one, but will my heart be broken when the night is done inside? I'd like to know that your love is a love I can't be sure of. So tell me now, and I won't ask you. Will you still love me tomorrow? Will you still love me Is this a lasting treasure or just a moment's pleasure? Tonight I see the love that's in your smile. Will you still love me tomorrow? Tonight we're words unspoken. You said that I'm the only one, but will my heart be broken when you step inside? I'd like to know that your love is a love I can't be sure of. So tell me now, and I will ask again, will you still love me tomorrow? Will you still love me tomorrow? I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know. Got to know, got to know, got to know, got to know. I wanna know. Thank you, thank you.
That's a reggae too. Let's do Europe. After that one,
Would you cry if I see you cry? Would you stay with me tonight? I will be your hero, baby. I will kiss away the pain. I will stand by you forever. You take my breath away. I will be your hero, baby. And endlessly, and so I face the final curtain. My friends are sinking and state my case, of which I'm certain. I believe the life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway, but more than it, I need it right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, CFEBA President Donna Byrne.
So I'm back to commence the start of the aforementioned brief formal programming for this evening. I want to thank the wonderful musical entertainment. Those of you who looked at the program might have noticed that our entertainment tonight was provided by the Kaiso Steel Band. And in the event that there's any question, there is no affiliation with the Kaiso that we are all very familiar with. And I have to note for our friends from other RTOs and ISOs who are here this evening, if you get a band to name themselves after you, we will give due consideration to hiring them next year. So perhaps we'll have entertainment from the PJM band or the MISO band next year. We'll see. We'll have to see about that. You may notice that tonight's event is billed as the 4th annual Gala. That reflects a decision that was made several years ago to change up the format for our fundraising, our CFEBA fundraising, to see if we could raise the level of fundraising and focus on one annual cornerstone project. That change was made under the leadership of Mike Stasser, who was CFEBA president when I joined the board. And I want to thank him for his leadership and really kind of bringing us into this new chapter. This format has been continued through the leadership of Jane Ruger and Mark Calpin, who served as the next two successive presidents of the CFEBA, and thank you for your leadership. Tonight, I'm pleased to kick off this program with a brief video that will give all of the folks here a little bit of a window into what's been made possible by your generosity. So we're going to show a short video that features the great success of the past projects that we have sponsored in the past couple of years, which of course builds on the many years of projects that came before, and I regret that we can't feature all of them tonight, but in the interest of time, we're just going to feature the past few projects since we've had this new format. So without further ado, let's cue the video, and then after that, we'll talk a little bit about
the availability of
this year's
affordable
project.
energy is one of the world's critical issues, impacting public health, safety, and education. Since 2002, CFEBA, the charitable foundation of the Energy Bar Association, has created opportunities for members and friends to support energy-related charitable projects. You've made a huge difference, and tonight, we want to share the latest success stories that are the result of your generosity. Electrification, light up the village. In 2016, CFEBA partnered with the National Rural Electrification Association International Foundation to bring electricity to 2 villages in rural El Beni, Bolivia. The grant supported construction of 36 miles of power lines and connected 560 families for the first time to an electric distribution system. Linemen from the Midwest volunteered their time and expertise for the installation. As one of the villagers explained, now the children can read their lessons at night. We can pump water and have a small refrigerator to preserve food. Innovative development, the power of water. Your support again made a life-saving difference in 2017 when CFEBA partnered with Innovation Africa to provide clean water and drip irrigation technology for the Akuyam village in Uganda. In this village, drought had killed 37 people in 1 week alone. It had destroyed harvests and killed livestock and forced people to drink from contaminated water sources. Thanks to you, Innovation Africa was able to drill beneath the ground, install solar technology, and build water taps throughout the community. Today, we can report that 4,600 people in the Akuyam village enjoy access to clean water, and the village is able to produce more food with less water thanks to the drip irrigation technology.
To everyone at Energy Bar Association, hello from Akuyam village in Uganda, the one that you changed their lives, and they have something to tell you.
Disaster relief, light, and hope for Puerto Rico. In late 2017, disaster struck Puerto Rico, and your generosity struck again. In addition to catastrophic damage to life and property, Hurricane Maria caused the worst power blackout in U.S. history. Your support through CFEBA helped the Puerto Rico Primary Care Association provide refrigeration for medications such as insulin, vaccines, and certain liquid antibiotics. These require proper temperature storage to work as intended. The funds provided solar solutions for the primary healthcare centers, which will contribute to reliability and resiliency in the face of similar disasters. The project is expected to be completed this fall. Empowering education in Haiti. Educate Haiti is a charity helping Haitians help themselves through education. The funds we raise will help schools in Durasi, Haiti, where the average family income is $100 per year, and most can only afford 1 meal a day. Due to a lack of electricity, school days often end early, when unlit and uncooled classrooms become too hot to safely hold classes. We ask you to support CFEBA's efforts to provide solar power for these schools in Durasi. The solar system will facilitate installation of lights and fans, helping students graduate on time and enable computers to be used. The project also strengthens community, as these buildings are used for village meetings and shelter during hurricanes. CFEBA would like to thank all of our corporate sponsors and individual contributors who fund these life-changing projects each year. If you have not already donated, please consider making a donation now. Together, we can help pave the way for a brighter future for the children in Haiti and continue to impact lives worldwide. Learn more and support CFEBA. www.eba-net.org/CFEBA.
So give yourselves a hand, because this is what your generosity has made possible. And thank you to Michelle Smith, Anjali Patel, and Jessica Lynch for their work to bring this project of the video together. Next, yes? We're going to talk a little bit about this year's Cornerstone project, Educate Haiti. We had an unprecedented number of applications this year, which was a really gratifying thing to see. And thank you, all of you who recommended projects and contributed to that pipeline. But it was a lot of work for the board to filter through all the excellent applications that we had. But I can tell you, as we evaluated the different proposals for their consistency with our mission, the merits of the undertaking, and the experience of the sponsors, there was an immediate consensus that formed around Educate Haiti as the perfect fit for our organization. I was personally very moved when I got to meet the founders of the organization, Kathy and Don Pomeroy, who unfortunately aren't able to be with us tonight, but we have some excellent representatives, who I'm about to introduce. But this project's going to have a profound impact. Rather than hearing about it from me, we're going to hear about it from some others. I am delighted to invite to the stage Sheila Hollis to talk about Educate Haiti. She is responsible for introducing us to them and them to us. Sheila, I am sure, is well known to virtually everyone gathered here. She's a past EBA president. She is an internationally recognized energy law expert. She served in the federal government. She has a distinguished career in private practice. Her selected honors and awards literally span pages, and she was my law school energy law professor. In a nutshell. A true luminary of the EBA community. I'm so delighted that she has agreed to say a few words about Educate Haiti, and then after that we're going to have some volunteers from the organization who are also going to say a few words. Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you. Well, it's great to be back with many people that you love dearly as personal friends, mentors, people that you've had the honor to work with over many years, and to see them, the people that you've worked with closely, blossom and go on and achieve and do so much for the practice and also for the world. So I'm honored to be back, and I thank you for allowing me to come back and say a few words tonight. You know, it's funny how life is. There's a certain serendipitous quality, and sometimes it just smacks you in the face. It comes looking for you, an opportunity, an idea, a place, a thing, a need. And, you know, it's one of these things that you try to explain, how did it come to pass? I had been to Haiti many years ago in a very primitive touristic state. I was very struck then, I will never get it out of my mind, the exquisite children, the beautiful children, the gentility, the spirituality of the Haitian people. And, you know, that stuck with me over many, many years. Had I been back? No, but I'd worked extensively in East Africa and many parts of the world, which are too numerous to mention and too complex as to how I got there and what I did there. But all that being said, you know, you try to look at how you make decisions in life about who you want to help. And you know, the only person I can think back at and look back to as a good guidepost is good old Mother Teresa, that is always able to be trotted out at a moment like this. So Mother Teresa was at an event, and several people, very sincere, wonderful people, asked her, Mother Teresa, you know, there's this trouble, there's this terror, there's this horror, there's this loneliness, there's hunger, there's ignorance, there's desperation around the world. How do we go about taking all these worldwide problems? And she turned to them and she said, well, look to the left of you and look to the right of you and help those who are right here now in front of you. And I would put that sometimes, I could only articulate it in the context of the discussions with respect to Haiti. It's a fragile connection over many, many years. I went to high school in Denver, Colorado, long story, and one of my classmates was a very wonderful lady, who I had lost track of, but through the internet and all that over the years, somehow somebody pops up on your screen in life. And anyway, the net of it was that we connected on a very moderate basis, and then she sent me an email or called me about, I'm going to be in Washington and I've been working on this thing in Haiti for the past 9-10 years. Well, would you be interested in hearing? I said, sure. Why not? Why not? So she came, and it was quite compelling about what they were doing. And then I said, well, what really is going on? What's the need there? She said, well, we're so desperate because it's so hot and there's no lights in there's no solar power. There's no power, period. There's no electricity in this village, which is extremely isolated, and in which everybody until 9 years ago was utterly, completely illiterate, as in adults, children, everything in between. And they're living on $100 a year. And the children, basically, if they survive childhood, that's a miracle. But there's no real help for them. And so we're trying, I'm trying to raise money enough so that at least we can get some lights installed and some fans in the ceiling so that we built these little schools. And we have 500 students from ages 5 on up through high school, and they're really it's beginning to blossom, this opportunity. And you'll hear more about the wonderful people who are making this happen by those who have been there and who have volunteered there. And so they will be with us shortly after my already too long presentation. But I wanted to say that out of the blue this struck, and I was so taken by it because of my memories of Haiti, which were hazy, although I'd worked in many other parts of the developing or trying to develop world. It always struck me about Haiti because of the beauty of the children, the fragility of the children, the spirituality that was built into the Haitian people, and their desire for a better life, and kind of the bad luck that's been dealt to them by history, by politics, by turmoil, by geology, by tornadoes, by hurricanes, and by earthquakes. It just doesn't seem like life has been fair to the Haitians at all. So when my friend named Harpole and her husband reached out to me, I thought, well, why don't we just find out about it? So we had a little reception at our firm, and Dwayne Morris was kind enough to support it with me. And so we had a very modest reception, but I thought, well, who might actually be interested in this? Because they talked continuously about we don't have light, we don't have fans, we have nothing. The kids about pass out. They only have one meal a day, and that's the reason we got them to come to school. It was just hard to imagine. The reason we got them to come out of the hovels that they live in, they don't even live with a roof over their head, really. They live with a tarp and a very makeshift. It's hard to imagine this in the world today, something that's only 4 or 5 hours from our doorstep by air. They have nothing. They have no industry, they have no money, they have no capability to read, they have no electric power, they have no sanitation, they have no vaccinations. There is no education in Haiti other than some colleges, limited, very limited, that is provided by anybody but charitable organizations, basically relief agencies, anything like that. Haiti has no capability whatsoever to educate its children. So the literacy rate is outrageously low. Some children make their way through the 3 or 4 years of grade school, but there's a tremendous drop-off. Only about 20-25% make it through anything resembling a high school. However, these are good people. They need help. There's nothing wrong with the people. It's just they've been dealt a hard hand by fate. If you can imagine a world where there's no refrigeration, there's no ice, there's no air conditioning, there's no lights at night, there's no furniture, really. You have to make shift with just nothing. There's basically no meat to eat, occasional chicken, that sort of thing. Maybe if you're lucky, a fish that doesn't kill you because it's from such polluted, outrageously bad water. There's no medicine. There's basically no vaccines. There's nothing. Basically, they have nothing. You have nothing. There's a high death rate among everybody, and just imagine, no computers, no cell phones, no cars, there's no trucks, no cars, no nothing. There's motorcycles or scooters go up and down to the closest town, something might be a town, and people live off basic subsistence farming, and I do mean subsistence. They're able to maybe sell plantains or bananas or something like that in the market. Nobody's able to read or write. They have no money. They make $100 a year if they're lucky. It's hard to imagine in this world. There's no paved roads. there's no food security whatsoever for anybody. And the way you tease these children out of their homes and tease them out to walk an hour to school is to provide a rice and beans lunch for them. If they're able to find the money to make a fire to boil the rice and to cook the beans. I mean, we're talking really primitive here. So this was a pretty compelling story. So we had this little reception. Donna was kind enough to go to it and to appear. And a number of you appeared who got the invitation. USEA people, Women's Council on Energy and Environment, and a lot of the good people who are always there in cases where the need is desperate and it's obvious. They showed up, and people were interested. They donated there on the spot. But at the time, I hadn't really organized it in my mind that this might be a CFEBA project. I just wanted to start with the basic and see if anybody was interested in taking it beyond. So the turnout was so profound and so beautiful and so wonderful, and there was a presentation explaining the whole story, A to Z, slides, and the people who actually worked there off and on for almost a decade. The net of it is that these children are eager to learn. They want to learn. They want to come to school, and the fruits of the labor of those who have volunteered and the fruits of the labor of those teachers that they've been able to get there, and that's one of the most expensive aspects of the whole running this operation, is to get teachers and pay them and get them. They can't actually live there. They have to pay. My friends who have volunteered down and been down there are going to be up here in a moment to tell you more. Okay, so just a little bit of backdrop. The 98% of the donations that are ever made go directly to the school. 2% is for mailings, stamps, basically printing of the little leaflets, which are pretty basic, pretty primitive. And so the children get one meal a day, and that's what keeps them coming, if you want to know the truth. That's what encourages them to show up in the morning. The children are eager to learn. They're quick. Many of them are naturally highly intelligent children. So I am fortunate to have my two buddies here who were kind enough to come out on their own nickel because they're that kind of people. One is Sharon Mayell, M-A-Y-E-L-L. She comes to us from Indianapolis, or from Indiana. She happened to stumble across this. She saw a newspaper article. She wanted to continue work. She was always interested in charitable work. She'd lived out here before, by the way, but in Bloomington, Indiana, about a fundraiser to educate Haiti. She was interested. She ended up going down to Duresi and staying there for a while. She got to see it. She does work at Indiana University. She's a research associate, and she runs an internship program in administrator for the media school of Indiana University. The other one of my buddies who I've become close to in the past 24 hours is Michelle Lopez, who comes to us from Texas. She actually had been seeking out a charitable operation to do work for, to become involved with. She did that. Both of them have been down to Duresi in the past year and a half, probably go back again very soon. And so she's been down and she's helped too. She's an adjunct faculty member at Texas State, and she's an executive coach, and she's also does a number of charitable efforts in a variety of areas. So you'll see, this is about as basic as life can get, and we're just trying to make life better, a little bit better for these students, these kids, so they can stay without passing out from the heat and class being dismissed early, so that they have light to read, and so that ultimately the goal is to put in some kind of opportunity for them to learn about computers. That will be hopefully a machine that will allow them, we can move it around, they can move it around the entire school so that they can learn how to do computers. These children are naturally intelligent children. They want to learn, they're quick, they're good at math, they want to learn, they're very serious little students, and all the way up through the 12th grade. So Donna, I turn it over to you now to take it from here, but at least I wanted you to know how this all came to pass and the history of it. And Donna was kind enough, God bless her, to come to this first reception, which was, pretty down home, but it got the point across.
Thank you, Sheila, and please join us, Michelle and Sharon. Michelle and Sharon are going to give a few minutes of remarks about their experience in Haiti, and then we're going to tell you again how you can donate, and then that'll conclude our formal programming.
Okay, thank you. So yes, thank you very much to Donna Byrne of Skadden Arps for putting this together, organizing and administering this event tonight. Most especially thanks to Sheila Hollis of Duane Morris. Sheila, as many of you know, is point person extraordinaire. We're so grateful for her full court vision and exquisite passing. And in this case, we are here to express our deepest gratitude to all of you at the Energy Bar Association, the charitable team, who will now complete the play. So yes, okay, so yeah, I'm happy to share my firsthand experience of time spent in Durasi, Haiti, along with the leaders, the Pomeroys, who were mentioned earlier, and also with the local Haitians, the people who are on the ground. There's a particular leader in the community. This land was actually belonged to his mother, and he has donated all this land in order to build these schools. And he's really the community leader. That's the point person also on the ground. He coordinates with the Pomeroys. He's the person that we go and talk to. There's a lot of email back and forth that make sure that the money that's going down there is actually being spent precisely on the things that it was intended for. And not to reiterate, but 98%, that's pretty good. So yeah, all of the money that's being donated is going directly to the schools, lunches, the teachers being paid. They're riding motorcycles up the mountain on Monday morning and living in this dorm that's like more or less like a mobile home. Very simple living, as well as paying for, as was mentioned, the food, their tuition, which is $5 a year, and if you can't pay it, you're still entitled to come to the school. So yeah, the solar energy is going to make a huge difference. The schools that have been built, they're very nice, very simple, very solid schools, but they have no lights. And as has been said, the windows are rather high. I think that's meant to make sure that it stays shady during the day because it's a tropical island, it's extremely hot. So bringing solar energy, being able to put fans in the buildings. They're high school students who, in order to go on, they take a national test partway through high school. If you don't pass it, that's, you can't go on to either trade school or to college. So it's really important. They don't get everything they need. They need to come back in the evening when there's lights to be able to study for these exams. They're a very high pressure point in their life, and they're very interested in following through with their education. And so let's see, also, they have built a little library. There are books in there. They hope it's going to be a computer lab, but of course, if there's no electricity, you can't have a computer lab. So I think that's also going to be a huge contributor to their moving forward with that project as well. So it's very much of a stark reality that Sheila has described very much. There is a lot of joy and pride in the school. But I will say, you have this feeling of, oh, they're very happy children, look how happy they are. But basically, they're missing a lot of things. They may not know what they're missing, but missing an education is as important of anything as you can get to. So your contribution cannot be, we cannot thank you enough for the contribution that you're making to make these children have the one thing in life that no child should be missing. And just, yeah, thank you so much.
It's a little bit of a tough act to follow, but I wanted to share a little bit with you about my personal experience, just to sort of be those eyes and ears for each of you who may not have had a chance to visit Haiti or any village similar to this in Haiti. But first, it's just an honor to be here on behalf of Kathy and Don Pomeroy, who are the founders of Educate Haiti. And I do thank each of you from CFEBA who are here this evening and who have been contributors, and in particular Donna and Sheila for inviting us into this wonderful opportunity to share our experiences. So I started my journey about a year ago, almost a year ago, Mother's Day weekend last year, and I was really trying to decide what would be something. I'd wanted to go on a mission trip. I had seen several opportunities, and as I was discerning, Haiti was what came to mind. It wasn't on the list. But Haiti came to mind 3 times that weekend as I was thinking about what I wanted to do and how I could contribute. My husband and I try to support many organizations and charitable organizations, and sometimes it's just as easy as writing a check, which we really appreciate, and I know foundations appreciate. But sometimes you want to be on the ground and you want to see something and you want to be a part of something bigger and actually getting in there and doing that. So I knew that Kathy and Dawn from my church were responsible for Educate Haiti, and the next week I was on the phone with them and having coffee with them, and I started my journey. In January, I was able to visit just this year, and I know as an educator in higher education, I've taught leadership theory classes, leadership classes, and I remember about 20 years ago teaching some of my students about a book, The 8 Habits of the Heart. And out of the 8 Habits of the Heart, one of those is RBC, Reach Beyond Comfortable. So I was prepared to be a little out of my comfort zone, and it was. There is nothing that has running water. We do stay in a dormitory as volunteers, so there is a roof over our heads, there is a dining room, a small kitchen, but all of the cooking happens in a cooking shack outside of the dormitory. And these women are cooking from sun up almost to sundown to prepare meals just for the volunteers. So we also have women who go down and collect water to put in the cistern so that we can have our sponge bath with a small cup of water. Those are luxuries for us, and luxuries that those students and their families do not have every day. But as I was there, I was reaching beyond comfortable and truly was impressed and really changed in a way that I never imagined I would be. Because Haiti is just one of those moments in my life that, as a team member on this mission, this mountain village of Jurissi changed my ideas of what that meant. These children, these families, this is their life, and they are so filled with joy, so filled with gratitude. And you heard, some of them walk 1 hour to school a day. There are children, and even elementary age children, who walk 2 hours a day to get to school, and 2 hours back. It's an experience where they are nurtured, where they are cared for, where they are seen as individuals who can accomplish something greater than what they have. And it's something that truly, I think, along with that meal every day, invites them to come back every day. Yves Anis, who is the gentleman who donated the land from his family, has created such an environment for those students to really succeed that they do place within the top 10% of those national tests, and they have students there from kindergarten through 12th grade. We've had 3 graduates already go on to school in college, and 2 of them are in nursing school. I was unprepared also just for the beauty of the people, the beauty of the location. And once I left, I wrote a quick blurb that was shared in the newsletter from the missionaries, the team of missionaries who go, and I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you. Amidst the beauty of Jurissi's mountain scenery is a hidden gem of God's creation, a school filled with children whose minds and hearts are being shaped by a rigorous and nurturing academic environment. Interviewing and spending time with these boys and girls was a window into the prosperous future of Haiti, and affirmed my commitment to support their empowerment through their education. Your generosity to this event, to this activity, to this project from CFEBA is really going to impact these students' lives and in turn this community's lives. And we really appreciate that. They have not begun to comprehend what having this energy in their village is going to do to transform what their experiences are in education and transform this village's future. So we do hope that you continue to support Haiti in any way that you can. And we know that these children, on behalf of them as well, are so grateful for what you have done to help them provide light, to light up their future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle, Sharon, and Sheila. Now, we're going to conclude the formal programming, but again, just encourage everyone to be generous, and you already have been generous, but use the new cell phone text-to-give technology. If you haven't tried it, the information's on your table. And I believe Michelle will have some leaderboard up here showing us our progress. But other than that, please enjoy each other's company. We have a dessert bar and continuing music. And before we conclude for the evening, though, I do want to especially thank all of the folks who have served as CFEBA board members and officers this year with me. And I also would like to introduce the incoming CFEBA president, who is, I must say, my esteemed Energy Bar colleague, my next-door neighbor, for real, literally, and someone who I feel lucky to call my friend, Mr. David Martin Connolly. Would you like to come up and greet the assembled crowd?
Thanks, Donna. I appreciate it. And thanks for all your hard work this year, everybody. I just want to say I'm very excited to be stepping into this role. I think we have a great team of officers and directors. It should be a great year. We look forward to your continued support, both of the great work we're doing here at CFEBA, but in other avenues as well, and I'll be reaching out to you throughout the year. So please enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you very much for being here, and I'm looking forward to a great year. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma, for that challenge. And anyone else who wants to make a spirited challenge to their colleagues, please feel free to do so and to grab the mic if you'd like to.